What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the VeVe Vault. It's Saturday morning, and the common Batmans still haven't sold out. What's going on? And people are selling their Batmans and their Robins for lower than the retail price, lower than they bought them for. Is VeVe dying? What's the deal? That's what I want to talk about today. I wanted to understand why people are freaking out. You know, this is obviously a new system or a new economy that we're in. NFTs have only been popular for about 3 months now. You see all the same trends on the other NFT platforms. It's obviously, 80% flippers, maybe 85% flippers. It's important to note that people are unemployed and getting big unemployment checks ever since the pandemic began, and they've learned, long ago that flipping is a good way to make money quick and easy, whether it be with baseball cards or on eBay through stuff that you get at Goodwill, which is a new big thing. People have been doing it for a long time, but it's just really increased lately with the YouTube videos out there teaching people how to flip better. So, you have to understand that when Top Shot got big about 2 or 3 months ago and people were pulling in packs for $10 and then making $1,000 off them, all of a sudden they're like, hey, NFTs are the new thing to flip. So all the flippers are going to migrate over here, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing and that VeVe doesn't know what they're doing. They limited the commons to 2 per person on purpose. They've said plenty of times that they want things to be available in the store for new users whenever they download the app. So it's not a bad thing that one of the most popular and best looking NFTs, the Batman Who Laughs, is available for people to purchase when they get into the app or when they look at the store. I think it's also important to note that people might not realize it, but to some people, flipping is fun. The marketplace is a game, and they're enjoying it. And sometimes you make a bad buy and you run out of gems or something, and you want to get back in the game because you see other stuff that's going there in the new listings, and then you can't get to it quick enough because you don't have the gems. So maybe you sell something at a loss just so you can get back in the game. So people are taking losses just so they can get gems so that they can make gains later on, or at least they hope to. So that's another aspect that has to be taken into account when thinking about the marketplace and how the prices are going. Okay, so with all that being said, it's just important to understand that VeVe is its own system. People have already learned that you can't flip commons for extra money usually unless you get a good serial number. That doesn't mean people aren't still buying them in the beginning to hunt for serial numbers. And if they don't get them, maybe they sell them for cheaper to get gems so they can play the game again. So you just have to watch the system and learn how it works. And if you want to capitalize off of it and you see something, an edge there, then you take advantage of it. Otherwise, you wait for whatever changes might come, because it only takes a economy to announce that maybe you have to have 3 sets to be into the Masters Collectors program, and then all of a sudden all the commons prices are going to go up because everybody wants to complete sets quick. So you never know what's going to happen. A big announcement could make mass adoption all of a sudden come, and all these people join, and a bunch of new money's in there. They all see this stuff for the first time, and they want to start buying, and the prices come up. So you just want to pick the ones that you want to invest in long term, and you want to use the ones that you don't want to invest in long term to get some extra gems to flip. And we'll talk about what you're looking for when you're flipping to make extra gems. Alright guys, let's talk about the most recent drop and flipping on the marketplace afterwards. There are a few strategies that I use before drops that a lot of people know about already. In case you don't, 4 of the most important ones that I do are to sign in early to the app, at least an hour or 2 early. And it's also important to clear your cache. If you're not sure how to do that, that's just deleting your downloaded files. I'll show you again on here. I've showed it in a couple of other videos. You click your settings here on your profile, and that will take you to this page right here where you click My Files. And once you get into My Files, you can see here where I have 20 megabytes downloaded. That's just from scrolling through the marketplace. You click on something, it starts to download, or if you put something into your vault, you're downloading that onto your phone as well. And if you just sit here and put the remove all downloaded files, then you can clear your cache for your app, and it's going to make your app run a lot smoother. And then afterwards, you can just download them back if you want to. So that's definitely an important tip to do right before the drop, and it will make your app run a lot smoother. The third thing I would mention is the page that I go to for drop day. Right before the drops, I go to the new arrivals, and right here where it says view all, it's kind of like a browse page. There's a couple different browse pages you can get to, and then when you're right here, you pick the one you want and you time it and go for that NFT. So as you'll see here, I'm at 10:59 right here. I've timed it a few times that it's going to be 3 or 4 seconds, but I know from past drops that when the drop actually starts that it's more like 10 11 or 12 seconds. So this time I got it perfectly. You can see it's 11 o'clock right here. I've been in there for about 2 seconds. I got in there really quick and I clicked buy now, and it should have been a really low serial number. So you can see that clearing the cache and signing in early has helped me to have my app running smoothly, and then I've timed it to about 12 seconds before the actual drop starts to get in there at a good time to buy. And then the fourth tip is to not double click the buy now, especially if you're getting into the ultra rare fast and your first one in there and you want to get it quick, you get excited and you double click the buy now. If you do that, it can cause you to hit the cancel button right afterwards. And that happened to me this drop, which was pretty disappointing. But when I mentioned it, a lot of other people said that it happened to them in the past as well. So I guess that's a kind of a common issue, so don't get too excited and just hit the buy now once. I'll show you a video of my drop of how close I was to getting the ultra rare Batman and how I hit the cancel button on accident.
10 seconds.
So yeah, I didn't get mad, I didn't throw a fit or start crying in the Discord or anything like that. I just bought a couple of the commons, which I wanted anyway. I tried to buy more, like I said, but the limit was 2. So I bought a couple of those commons, one to keep for myself and the other one to start flipping. And I got one of the early numbers, 1942, which was not bad at all. And I grabbed a second one and kept that one for myself. And then I just watched the marketplace for a little bit to see if I had some opportunity to flip a little bit and flip my way into maybe a Robin or a rare or an ultra rare. Okay, so some of the marketplace strategies that I used during my flipping over the last couple of days to get up to a complete set of the Season 5 Batman Black and White series. The most important thing I did at first was to wait and watch. So if I was sitting there watching the market and seeing where all the prices were for that moment, and then I went and took a break for 3 or 4 hours and went and hung out or whatever, when I came back, I wouldn't just start buying stuff at the same prices that I thought they were selling for at the time. I would sit there and wait and watch, see what's going on, see what's dropping compared to last time, and then maybe click that and look at that to look at the floor. It's also important to understand how the floor works for pricing when you're looking at these. Okay, so when you're looking for the floor price of an item, that just means that you're looking for the lowest price of a buy it now. So in this example, you can see that there's a price of $1.50 and $60 and $60, but these are all auctions. The lowest price is actually $65. That's where the floor was right after the drop for the common Batmans. Of course, this was before most people even had them delivered to their accounts yet. I was just checking them out. But this is how you look at a floor and determine what the lowest price at that particular time is. And then if you see stuff going in the marketplace for lower than that, you can snag it up pretty quick, and usually you're able to flip it for a profit. And if not, you can sit it in the store as the new floor, maybe for a penny less than 65. In this case, you'd be at $64.99. And maybe somebody will come scoop it up if you're not paying attention or going to be on your app flipping. Alright guys, an important marketplace strategy that I'm sure most people are already using is to keep your eye on the new listings page, which is the front page of the in-app market. You can refresh it every few seconds and you never know what's going to pop up, what prices, if you already know what the floors are on some items that you're keeping an eye on. Usually right after a drop, I'm always keeping an eye on the items that just came out because those are the most popular. People are trying to complete their sets fast and keep an eye on those floors and seeing if anything pops up really low compared to the usual floor for that item at that time. You want to snag that up real quick. In this case, it was the morning of the drop and Robins had already been down to 40 gems, which I almost started scooping those up. And then once I refreshed, I saw a 35 and I decided, hey, that's definitely a buy. So I bought that as soon as I could. And once that happened, for some reason that morning, the morning after the drop, people started selling them left and right for 35 gems and 35.99 gems. So I bought them left and right, and I kept selling them for anywhere between 39.99 to 42 gems. So you can see that I'm not making a huge killing off of them, but it's easy flips that people, as soon as they saw them on the new listing page, would buy them. Now, of course, there were ones for 35 and 36 and 37 in the marketplace if you scroll all the way down through the auctions and find them, but people don't want to do that. They're just looking at the new listings page. So that's why it's important for the next tip is to refresh your listings every 10 or 15 minutes when you're trying to sell something. If you're on the app and you're paying attention and looking for snipes off of the new listings page yourself, then you're there for about 10 or 15 minutes. It's usually smart to go ahead and refresh your listings, or at least one or two of them every once in a while, and that puts it back on the new listing page, and you have a better chance of selling it to get your money back quick. Okay, I think it's important to let you guys know that you don't want to buy something that you haven't checked the floor on already. I saw here a Tropicana for 30, but I had no idea exactly how low they were going at that time because a lot of the prices were falling. So I tried to hurry up and go check the floor real quick, and you can see that the floor is 44.5, so I should have got that 30, but of course it was already gone. But I've done it 4 or 5 times where I've bought something that I didn't check the floor on, and then whenever I go and look at the floor, it's actually above the floor, and it's hard to flip and get my money back for that. Okay, the next strategy I want to mention on the marketplace is hunting for serial numbers. One way to do that is to find the floor of an item and then to just scroll through and see if you find any good serials. What numbers are valuable is kind of up to the buyer. Some people think some are worth more than others. Of course, 2 digits you're usually worth up to $1,000, so you definitely want to look for those. 3 digits for most items are going to be good, and it's going to bring your total up to maybe 25 or 50% more than the floor price, I guess, at that time. Of course, you can always find good serial numbers on the marketplace as well while refreshing the new listings. Sometimes people, they don't value the serial numbers at all, and they just put it up for the regular price that they want to sell it for, and you grab it and you can flip it for a little bit more if it's a good serial. Alright guys, so I was able to go from 2 commons all the way up to a full set, and I did have an extra robin at the end. Of course, it's a little clickbaity to say that because I had a couple items that I bought previously before the drop that were on the marketplace that sold. I know a Fumo was one of them. Finn Martin's was another one. So I'll go ahead and go through my whole flipping sequence real quick. I don't know how I'm gonna edit it in there. It might be too long. I might not use it at all. We'll see, but here we go. I started off with 102 gems, and at the drop, as you saw, I bought 2 of the common Batman Who Laughs, and I also purchased 30 gems. I purchased those 30 gems because I was gonna buy this robin for 50, but I decided not to. I think somebody bought it before I did. I was kind of glad they did because later they dropped down to 35, as you saw. And then right after that, I found an uncommon robin with the serial number 9099 for 46 gems. So I went ahead and purchased that because that seemed like something that I could flip pretty quick. That took me down to 6.67 gems, and then I sold a few items. I think I put them up and then left the app for a couple hours, came back, and my Batman that I was able to get in the drop, 1942, sold for $43.99. And then the Finn Martins that I picked up earlier a couple days prior sold for $24.99. And then the Robin 9099 sold for $49.99. So after the 1.25 fee, it came out to a small profit of $2. After that, I found a common Batman with the serial number 1008, which I thought might be something that's flippable. So I went ahead and picked that up for $44. And then I found Robin 2022, which I also thought would be a good number to flip. I had just flipped Robin 9099 earlier, and I picked this one up, and when I did, I didn't realize that it was actually a year. That didn't occur to me. It was just because I just had the 9099. But whenever I put it on eBay, I was sure to mark, hey, this is an edition number that stands for a year. It's going to be next year, it's going to be worth more. So I did pay 55 gems for that, and that took me down to 23.66 gems at the time. And then I sold the 1008 Batman for $45.01, and I picked up another Batman with a kind of a cool serial number. It was 09110. So I don't know if anybody else would value that. I think I did end up selling it for a profit, so I guess somebody else did. But I saw it and thought, somebody would see that and say 911. That's kind of cool. So that took me down to 36.54 gems after selling the common Batman earlier. And I also sold that Robin 2022 for $55. I think it was $59.99. I wrote down $55.99. I'll check on there. I think it was $59.99. I remember I had it listed for $49.99, and I walked away for a couple hours, and it was just sitting there on the market, number 2022 for $49.99. And when I came back, I refreshed it. I relisted it for $59.99, and it sold instantly. So that tells you how much refreshing helps. After that sale, that took me to 86.13 gems, and I picked up another common Batman. This was a 3-digit 713 for $42, and I found a robin that I wanted for 42.5, which was, I guess, lower than the floor at the time. That took me all the way down to 1.63 gems. Alright, the 3-digit Batman that I picked up for 42 gems sold pretty fast for $59.99, and that took me back up to 60.12. And then the other robin I picked up for 42.5 sold for 44.75, so a little tiny profit there. Afterwards, I saw a Batman with the serial 9969. I thought that was kind of cool. Picked it up for 35. That took me to 67.13 gems. And then I found a Batman 4661. It was actually the rare Batman. I wanted to have at least one rare Batman during this flip. I didn't know if I was going to finish with all of them or not, but I wanted to at least get one in there. And that was the floor at the time. It was right before I went to bed, so I went ahead and picked that up as well. So then when I woke up the next day, I saw that rare Batman had sold for $67.99, and the common Batman 9969 had sold for $37.99. So that took me back up to 104.47. So you can see I'm doing small flips, but it all adds up eventually. So that was the point when I noticed that robins were going for 35, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab those. I grabbed 3 right off the bat of those, and I sold all 3 of those pretty quick. And I also sold the common Batman 0911 for 36.99. At that point I had 115.05 gems, and I sold another robin. So I guess after I sold all the robins, I had 153.07 gems. And I went ahead and picked up a D Cook Batman for 37 gems. Usually I do really well at flipping the Darwin Cook Batmans. I usually can buy them for 40 or 42 and sell them for 45 to 49. But this time I saw one for 37. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab that one. And I saw another one for 39, so I picked those both up quick. I was able to flip one of them real quick for 39.99, but you could see on the market that people were unloading them and the price was going down, so there wasn't much I could do about that. I did find another robin at that time for 35 gems, so I just kept grabbing those left and right. I think I only had that one for a couple minutes, and it sold for 41.99, and that took me up to 121.10. And it looks like I bought another robin, this one for 35.99. So basically for an hour or two there, the floor for the robins was at 39 or 40, and anytime somebody would list one for 35 or 35.99, I would just gobble it up and sell it back for 40. During that time also, that a Fumo that I purchased a while back sold for $45 or 45 gems, and that took me up to 129.89. I think I had one robin in my inventory at the time, so I picked up 2 more robins at 35.99 gems each, and one of those sold. And then I picked up another robin, so we can do this at this point is just buying robins and robins. Like, I bought so many robins. I'll put some totals down here, but at one point it was just like I was tired of buying robins. I had so many of them, but they were selling as soon as I bought them, so I just had to keep doing it. So at the end there, I ended up selling that other D Cook for only 37 gems, which was what I bought it for, so I took, the 0.25 loss. And then I went ahead and bought my ultra rare, and I had almost the whole set. I had an extra robin left over, so I figured I'd go ahead and flip my Bellina for a little less than what I paid for it and pick up the rare as well. So now I got the full set, and it was pretty much all from flipping robins, buying them for 35 to 36 gems and selling them for 40 to 42. So that's my adventures in flipping, and that's my show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and take it easy. We'll see you next time.
Hello, Dan. I do have a question for you from VeVe Vault. Here, let me pull it up and read it real quick.
Can I just ask, it's not Wayne Lambo, is it? Because I might have to exit quietly.